So welcome to the Nigeria Network, and here we try to be a little bit positive about life in general, especially for a country who, to an extent, has lost its soul on so many levels. So we want to try and see if we can lend a voice to the alleged fight, to the supposed fight. It's a strange one where you grow up in a situation where everything seems to be okay and things are all good, life's all right, you're having a good time, and then all of a sudden, right under your nose, or rather right under your eyes, things start to go crazy. That is the situation majority of us have found ourselves, especially those coming in from Nigeria. That's where we found ourselves. But it's all good. It's one of those things. So, to make it really interesting, we always try to keep the conversation live so that those who don't know will inevitably know, and those who are oblivious about the facts, that certain things are possible, would see these things manifest right before their eyes. So thanks for joining. I'm not sure if you guys have the capacity or ability or don't feel obliged to share, but it would be nice if you can share so others can join in and join the conversation at least at some point. But the idea is to converse, is to really just speak truth to power on so many levels. So at this point in time, what we have is a situation where, well, thanks for joining, guys. What we have is a situation where we ask ourselves, what can we do? I'm sure majority of you have friends and families and maybe even distant relatives who are from Nigeria per se. So this is really that conversation about where it's going. We want to be honest about shit. It's a late night, so excuse me if I use some profanity because I know the kids are sleeping now. So yeah, it's good like that, so we can just be real with, we can be real with shit and then just say it as it is. Yeah, so a little bit about what we do, what we try to do on the network. We try to engage, we try to converse, we try to show a level of inspiration, through the kind of content we generate, which predominantly showcases the inevitability of a better situation, especially with this, in this regard, for the country that some of us do love. That's what this is all about. We can talk about anything regarding Nigeria, though. Its people, its place, its people, its passion, its drives. What you like about it, what you don't like, what you think is happening, what you think is not happening. Or you can test me on the knowledge of it as well, and I can throw a few things back. We can really just have a deep dive into, what the country is about. From my point of view, I think it's only right that we have these kind of conversations and, try to balance it. Like I said, it's midnight, so I know the kids are asleep, so we will be passionate with our profanity. So if you hear us swear, don't feel surprised, because it's a late night drive. So we've been saying, what format can we use to do something different? Because when it comes to levels of creativity, especially, on platforms like TikTok, which is turning out to be the new, I'd say, the new radio of the internet. You have DJs, you have musicians, you have artists, you have activists, you have all kinds of people on TikTok from a creative point of view. So from a network point of view, we would come out as well as, or rather we intend to step forward as well as, communication strategist. Let's put it that way. With regards to a better Nigeria. So if you're a lover of Nigeria, if you like Nigeria, if you enjoy what the country brings or what it doesn't bring, at some point we'll still have to talk about it. And this is, there's no better time to start having these kind of conversations because, shit is about to hit the fan whether we like it or not. There's a whole level of awareness that is growing now, and there's a whole level of people seeing things differently, and there's an uprising in the offing. Dare I say a revolution in the offing. And if that is the case, then, I think we can sing our sweet melodies just in case shit hits the fan. Or we can project and prepare ourselves for the inevitability, which is a better Nigeria in the offing, which is what we want at the end of the day. So we're keeping it mellow this time around, and I hope you're enjoying. Just lay down and chill. There's no need for aggravated assault. Enjoy the background music if you can hear it. Let it soothe you, and if you've got something to say, you would, hey, come up and we'll have a chat about it. If not, I'm more than happy to just speak my mind and certain things, to be honest, because I know it's quite late, especially for those who will share the same timeline. So don't worry about it. Stitches, good evening, I see you. Feel free to come up, or more than happy if you just want to listen, it's fine. I know it's late, but it's all good. So the idea is, where do we start? So thanks for joining. We've been here for 10 minutes. We kicked it off at midnight. And like I said, I'm hoping I can do majority of these things, like maybe in the mornings or late at night like this. So again, thanks for joining us. Right, so where do we start? I'd say in view of progress, right? That's where we start. In view of progress. So I particularly, obviously I'm Nigerian now. We grew up in that damn country, man. Great country. But there's always elements trying to fuck it up. That's the shit. Great country. There's always people trying to mess it up. There's always external factors trying to fuck with it. And there's always citizens trying to tear it down. But good will always triumph over evil. And that is why when you're projecting the reality of a situation, you must look at it from a productive point of view and say, hey, what if they get it right? What's that all about? You know what I mean? So we thought, so we'll switch it a bit. We'll see if we can churn out and bring out the best that Nigeria has to offer from a creative point of view, from a communication point of view, from a passion point of view, from an intellectual point of view. And at some point, from a revolutionary point of view. That's what really matters, to be honest. You'd have to have a revolutionary mindset if you want something to work these days. What I'm saying though, still, if we're gonna call a spade, then we have to do what we have to do in view of progress. Yeah, no problem, Stitches, I see you. It's understandable, man. There's no light. Can you imagine that? Yeah, we have to try and fix that at some point. But it's all good. We'll keep it live. So I was saying though, yeah. So the whole point is trying to see if we can switch it around and make this thing work. Elections are not going to solve the problem. Many of you know this. It's about time we start denying stuff. We stop denying stuff. So why are we here? As a platform, that is, not me specifically, because we've been around for a while trying to say the same thing, using the same method, using the same style for over a decade now, and nothing seems to work. So why are we here as a network? Which is not just me. There's hundreds of us that form this particular network. It's a network of passionate people who understand what it is that Nigeria should be. And because we understand what Nigeria should be, we will do our best to see if we can make Nigeria what it should be. And get Nigeria to that point where we feel it ought to be. Now here's the story. We have to figure out how we want to get from A to B, with or without external help. So technically everything has to happen from the inside. If that is the case, so we have to start from the conversation, right? We have to start from me saying, this is how I feel, from you saying, this is how you feel, from us saying, what can we do? At the end of the day, asking ourselves the relevant question, what exactly is possible in view of progress? What exactly is possible? I think that's the key one for me. If we can at some point try to figure out what exactly is possible, then maybe, just maybe, we can get to a situation where we can tell ourselves the truth about why we ought to make this thing work, why we have to fight, why we have to struggle. It's in the struggle, isn't it? It's in the struggle. That's where you find the glory. That's where you find the passion. That's where you find the commitment. That's where you find the energy. It's all in the struggle. If you don't have the energy, if you don't have the passion, if you don't have the zeal, if you don't have the courage, then you might as well just let those who have those things do their thing, and then be a casual bystander. There's nothing wrong with that. Observation is no crime.